Mr. Robbins, Judge Murray, thank you for being here. Mr. Robbins, I want to thank you for the tremendous work that you and your agency do as law enforcement agents. Thank you for working to keep us safe, working to keep communities all across my state safe. I can tell you that the people of Missouri are grateful for your work, and I'm sorry for the tremendous abuse that you and your agents, law enforcement agents, have to take, and the things that have been said about you, and of course the attempts to eliminate your agency, I think, are just unbelievable. And considering the threats that so many communities face. Let me ask you about some of those. I want to talk to you about removal operations and about one statistic in particular, because I think it counters the widespread misperception of what ICE does that has been cultivated by many on the other side. According to your agency's own data, in fiscal year 2019, 90% of individuals arrested by ICE fell into at least one of the following categories. Here they are: individuals with a criminal conviction, individuals with a pending criminal charge, individuals who illegally re-entered the country after being previously deported, which is itself a felony, or individuals who are fugitives from their immigration proceedings and have final orders of removal issued against them. Does that statistic sound right to you? Is that correct?
That's correct.
So if I understand it then, the idea that ICE is prioritizing and arresting families whose only crime is illegal entry, simply it's not correct according to these statistics. Is that fair to say?
It's not correct unless they had a final order of removal.
So turning to the kinds of people that ICE is actually prioritizing, let's talk about those first who have past criminal convictions and those with pending criminal charges. Can you give us some sense of the categories of crimes that aliens have been convicted of or charged with when ICE picks them up from a local jail or prison? Like, for instance, has ICE arrested murderers who are subject to removal?
They have.
What about sexual predators?
Absolutely.
What about drug traffickers?
Yes.
Let me ask you also briefly about aliens who've committed illegal reentry, meaning, of course, that they've been deported before, but because of the border have come, our insecure border, have come back to the country. How frequently is ICE finding and arresting illegal aliens who have committed crimes and who have illegally re-entered the country 2 or 3 or more times?
I don't have the specific stats, but it is a frequent occurrence.
Do these cases sometimes involve dangerous individuals?
Absolutely do.
Again, I just want to say that we're very grateful to you in the state of Missouri for the work that you do. In Missouri, we don't have any sanctuary jurisdictions. And I can tell you from talking to our state and local law enforcement that what Missourians want, what Missouri law enforcement often say is that they need more ICE officers. They want greater and deeper cooperation because, frankly, they need the backup. And when we are overwhelmed by drug trafficking in the state of Missouri, we're overwhelmed by those drugs that Senator Durbin was talking about pouring across the southern border, coming into our state, and by the crime and violence that often comes with them. So let me just ask you this. Can you tell me, in your experience, what's the impact on public safety when a jurisdiction becomes a sanctuary jurisdiction? What does that mean for the public safety of that place?
So the public safety, it's not only just public safety, but it's an officer safety concern. So when we have to then send our ICE officers into the community in which the sanctuary policies are trying to protect, it puts everybody at risk. It puts the subject we're arresting, the people within the community. And there's a human cost to this that we're not talking about. So not only is it difficult with our limited resources, but these people that are being released from jails are recommitting crimes. They're victimizing people. They're hurting people. And the reality is if you look at the recidivism rate for criminals, those that have committed crimes, anywhere from 40 to 80% of those that are released from jails are going to commit an additional crime. And usually those crimes will escalate in violence.
Well, you said a couple of times here that you need Congress's help. I wonder if you could just put a fine point on that for us. What is the help you need from Congress to better perform the important mission that ICE is charged with?
I think we need two things. We need to strengthen and our border security, which means we have to eliminate the pull factor. We need to address the Flores rule, the TVPRA, and then the credible fear standards that we currently apply. If we can address the pull factor, I think the crisis at the border, we can accomplish something at the border and close our borders. And then in the interior, we need help with cooperation from our local law enforcement partners. I think most sheriffs and most law enforcement partners want to help ICE, but they're restricted by state or local policies. So we need help when it comes to the detainer, whether it be the indemnification of an actual detainer, but we need some teeth behind what we have, because right now it is a request. and we need some teeth when it comes to actually getting the criminals out of the jails before they hit the communities.
Thank you, Mr. Robbins. Thank you again for the work that you do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.